Yo, still bills. What's the deal, man? It's Friday. I'm heading to pick up my babies and going home. I gotta finish this Power Series. And yeah, man, that's all that is, man. But peep game, man. I want to get into some shit, man. And that's this old David Morrell and David Benavidez situation. Man, listen, I'm like this. At this point, get both of them the fuck up out of here, man. Both of them. I don't know who's the blame. I don't get it, man. As I've stated before, I'm not mad at the Jesse Hart fight because I don't have really high expectations of David Benavidez as is. I just don't think he's a quality fighter, but he's not remotely close to what it is they're trying to make him out to be. A lot of the hype generated around him is, due to being a Canelo detractor. They're so hell bent on getting this man out of the paint through smearing tactics through media, through media circuses and all that. That they'll stop at nothing to see that they'll do that. And if that means inflating the dude's resume and worth within a division that he just so happens to be in, and that's the route that they'll take. I don't think much of David. You dig? I don't think this is about to be no dude who's about to be, rising up the pound for pound list. He's not about to be, he could possibly become a multi-weight champion, a two division champion. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Depending on how the fight goes between Beterbiev and Bivol, I can see him potentially, picking off one of the weaker champions if he was to capture a belt. I can see that happening, and him becoming a two division champ. I can see that happening. You dig? Moving up to light heavyweight later on, not light heavyweight, but cruiserweight later on in his years, and picking off a belt for one of the lesser foes up there as he his career winds down, potentially, depending on how well he grows into the division that he's in now. But other than that, I don't think much of him. You dig? And just that's not to be facetious or anything. That's just me simply saying you're not who it is that they're making you out to be. You're not the Mexican monster, dog. You're just not. You have done nothing to prove that you are this dude that is worthy of that title of the Mexican monster. You just haven't. And so I'm not mad at a fight with someone like a Jesse Hart. And then when you look at David Morrell, I'm not head over the hills about David Morrell either. I think David Morrell's a talented fighter. I think he has more potential than David Benavidez because he's just, he has an array of skills. Yeah, he has boxing attributes in his game that David Benavidez just doesn't have. He has better feet. He's fast, maybe not faster hands, but you dig, better punch selection, better punching technique, better defense. He has all that at his disposal. David Benavidez just historically he's proven to have the better gas tank. And he's the more experienced fighter as of right now. So they're both quality fighters, man. But what I'm hearing in the now with him fight, David fighting Jesse Hart in either December or January, and then you got David Morrell, who's we don't know when he's fighting now, but it's just like I'm listening to the boxing voice and I'm hearing that they talking about, we want they're taking the marination approach. They're marinating this fight. And that is that is the sole reason of the crumbling of the PBC as we know it. That is the sole purpose for that shit crumbling in the way that it did. Why are you marinating a fight with a dude? And maybe they're not trying to do this, but this just looks like familiar territory when it comes to this situation right here. Why are you marinating a fight with a dude who has been reduced to a fucking co-main event for a pay-per-view after main eventing 2 pay-per-views? The last time I seen David Benavidez, co-main of, a pay-per-view, what was that with was that with Darrell on the Spence and Porter undercard? That man went 5-6 years main eventing fights, and now you're being reduced to a co-main event, bro, because you just don't have the drawing power to put you at the top of the bill. So now here we are where it's looking like y'all trying, it just seems, maybe I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong because this is just something that doesn't need to be happening. And this is, if it is how I'm seeing it, then this is why boxing in America is plummeting. Why are y'all marinating a fight with two dudes who are relatively unknown? David Benavidez is more known than David Morrell. Yeah, I'm not saying that his profile is just as high as David Benavidez. No, but David Benavidez's profile is not high enough to justify you marinating the fight, especially when you consider that y'all did that same shit with Caleb Plant, and Caleb Plant and him they were champions. They were no longer champions when they both fought. Caleb Plant had been, he'd been knocked out, and y'all only did like 40K or some goofy shit like that. And you have David Morrell's manager up here just coming off as if we want more time or whatever, man. Like that's the language of pattern behavior. They don't have to say we're marinating a fight for you to know that they're marinating a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem when you get, bro. Just fight. Just fight. Y'all niggas keep trying to pull these Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather fucking tactics, and none of y'all are them. Y'all are not gonna go cross continent and people gonna know who y'all are. Y'all are not. It's just not gonna happen, man. Boxing is a secluded sport. It's a very much so secluded sport. You do not. It is mind-boggling how y'all mind works when it comes to this shit. There's no justification for marinating the fight with David Morrell and David Benavidez, man. Them niggas is not no household names. And it's like it's like they can't get out of their way. If this is what they are doing, they can't get out of the way of they can't get out of their own way. They can't do it. And that's problematic. That's problematic. And none of them will be castigated for doing the shit. None of them will be. And if they don't fight each other, then it is what it is. Everything will be. This is why I give so much resistance when niggas bang on Canelo. This is why. There's no reason why we can't get a David Benavidez and David Morrell fight over the line right now when y'all are both stablemates pretty much. There's no reason for that. There's no reason why we shouldn't be getting them to. Why can't we get them to the lock horns right now? We can't get that now. We can't get Benavidez and David Morrell in the ring right now. As two relatively unknown fighters, man. Y'all don't need, paparazzi is not about to be hopping out on y'all, bro. They're just not. It's not gonna happen. Not right now. But y'all swear y'all Hollywood, man. Y'all swear y'all Hollywood, and this fight has to marinate. David Morrell, for his manager to go on the Boxing Voice and give the language of someone who need, like, we got to marinate this fight and let this fight build this fight up a little bit more, bro. You're doing a disservice to your career, fam, because who exactly are you about to fight? Who exactly are you about to fight, man? They put, the PBC put you in there with no hopers, man, and that wasn't enough to boost your profile to the point where just a regular casual or just a regular nigga walking down the street is gonna know who you are. That wasn't enough. And I can't understand this shit for the life of me, man. It bothers me. It bothers me that y'all niggas think y'all that Hollywood because y'all fight in America. And y'all have the minds and the eyes and the attention of a few American boxing fans that y'all think y'all are entitled to some sort of a special treatment and being just fighting. Like, no, bro, this shit is ridiculous. I was just on my man Goon, the Goons boxing podcast. What was that, yesterday? And we was talking about this shit, man. Just building these fights and just the topic was Keyshawn Davis banging on Devin Haney the way that he's banging on him. My thing is this, man. He doesn't need to even be fighting a Devin Haney. Why can't we get him and Raymond Mutataya? I've said that if I'm not mistaken, I made a video about that. My man on there, no, it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Man, it ain't about that. This is a sport where they get little coverage on a channel that they fight on. I'm not here for I'm not here for none of that shit. I'm just not. I'm not. And if we gonna be real, they're not. The fans, the casual observer, the motherfucker who's looking to get into the sport, man. He has limited outlets to where he can go get that shit at. He may not know what the zone is. He's not gonna know what Queensberry is. They don't fight over here. Y'all don't do what it is y'all need to do to, generate eyes and attention to the sport. This is the American way. Over marinating the fight. Because y'all think y'all are y'all status symbols and icons and shit. Y'all are not. Just get in the ring and fucking fight. Get in the ring and fucking fight. We hearing rumors that, well, at least I heard a rumor that Tim Tszyu, if he does what everybody is expecting him to do to Bakram or Tazaliev next month, he's getting right back out there in December to fight Lubin. 3 fights, 1 year. And this is off of a horrific injury with Sebastian Fundora, where the top of his head was split open and still lost a split decision. Y'all don't seem to get it, man. You niggas have been pampered by what the predecessors of the sport have done. Y'all can take the path of least resistance and expect the most. You can walk into a division and be, and be the dominant one in that division because you're the American, and everybody else in the division is bums because they're European. Even though our presence isn't dominant and numerically, a numerical majority in that said division. That's wild. That's the mind of the American boxing fan. That's the mind of the American boxer. If we being real, that's the mind of the American boxer. And I can't understand it, man. I can't understand it, and I don't like it. It's not meant for me to understand. It's not meant for me to understand. Like, why don't you? Why are we talking about marinating the fight with 2 relatively unknown fighters, bro? I just can't wrap my mind around that. At some point, somebody got to grab the bull by the horns. This is David Morrell's opportunity right here. And maybe it's not him. Maybe it's just his manager and all that, man. Because a lot of times these promoters and these managers get in the way of the fighter. The fighter actually may want, yo, man, I want that fade. I want that drama. And the promoter or the trainer or whoever, nah, it's too early for all that. So they'll throw a wrench in the game and make sure that fight doesn't happen so that, to protect their fighter. So a lot of times, Oscar De La Hoya is doing that with Williams Zepeda right now. A lot of the times, these fighters, it's the fighters who want to fight, but it's the promoters who get in the way. But when the promoters get in the way, you're going to be the one, when the promoters and the trainers and the managers and all that get in the way, you're going to be the one who has to wear that. You got to wear that. People are going to bring up Samson Lukowicz. Yeah, people in the know, but shit, man, like, no. Ain't nobody thinking that deep. We know we want to see David Benavidez fight Caleb Plant in a unification match, and that fight didn't happen. And that's all we got to go off of. David Morrell, if your team is talking about marinating the fight to a nigga with 10, 11 fights, and you ain't fought nobody a note, and you just had the war that you had with Kalajic in a fight that you arguably lost, you the last nigga to be talking about a fucking marination process, bro. We don't need this. Get in the ring and fight. It's as simple as that. Get in the ring and fight. Pretty please. I don't have the wherewithal to sit here and talk to y'all, but just, to just keep bloviating about this shit, man, and how ridiculous it is. Because it's you would think a nigga would learn from their past mistakes, bro, and they just not learning. And this may not even be the doing of an Al Heyman or even a Luis Dacubas or anything like that. It could just be the energy that is already set into the universe within that stable, within that particular conglomerate of a boxing promotion company, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Morrell, push for that damn fight, bro. Push for the fucking fight. Do not get caught up in this. Don't be that dude. Don't get caught up in this American bullshit where you think you gotta just marinate a fight. A big fight has to be marinated, man. This is a good fight. It's not no oh shit. This blockbuster. No, nobody knows y'all. It's a good fight. A real good fight if we gonna be real. But not no fight that needs to be built up because it's not gonna get built no higher than what it is now because niggas don't know y'all. Just get in the ring and run it. Get in the ring and run it. Damn. Y'all are letting motherfuckers play with, man. Listen, man. So, I really, man. I'm not even about to keep talking about this shit, man. I'm not, bro. There's just only so much you can say about pattern behavior. What are you gonna do to rid yourself of that? What precedents are you gonna start to set for you to take, forge your own path and give corrective action to your, the behavior that you've been displaying for I don't know how many years. Somebody got to do that. David Morrell, please do that. Please do that. God damn, man, this shit is a. I'm out. I'm going to pick up my kids, yo. Deuces.